We also have been getting a lot of injuries, and this Thursday, unfortunately, we had one major injury,
Yeah.
which is the quarterback of the Cincinnati Bengals, Joe Burrow, going down with a season-ending injury. Joe Burrow joins a long list of quarterbacks for the season, right? I think it's Joe Burrow, Aaron Rodgers, Daniel Jones. It's a Kyler Murray, but I know he's back, or whatever the case may be. It's a bunch of quarterbacks. It's a bunch of
Yeah.
quarterbacks.
It's like 8.
Um, yes. What I don't like, or what we don't like, is Joe Burrow goes down, and I'm not going to say there were people excited about it, but not too many people were sad, unless you're in the city of Cincinnati or in the state of Ohio. I'm so sorry, that should have never happened. Um, Not too many people were sad or mad about Joe Burrow being injured.
Yeah.
And for those listening, for those watching, we don't really like that.
No.
Um, I'm actually I'll give you the floor because I just found the stat, and while I'm looking at it, you can talk to me a little bit about how you feel about that.
Well, it's tough because like it comes to just being a person, a human being at that point. Because obviously, if anyone who's played sports, injuries are not fun. Not fun at all, especially when you're a competitor. And to see someone go down, your first reaction should be like, damn, it should be like, that sucks, that hurts. I feel bad for that person. It shouldn't be, you shouldn't be happy, shouldn't be joyful to see someone go down. Especially when that other person is trying to do the same thing that you're trying to do. You're trying to compete, they're trying to compete. You don't want to see someone go down, and just because it makes you have a better chance of winning, that shouldn't be a good thing. You would want to face someone head on, strong at their best, not weak and hurt. So that's what I gotta say. I'm like, if you're just a well-rounded person, you want to compete against the best, not someone who's has a calf injury, someone that has a hand injury, and you're gonna be happy because your team then gets to move on and you don't gotta see them. Like, no, it's not how it works.
Well, to that final point you just made, I think that's the reason why is they just. I really do think a lot of you just fear Joe Burrow and
Yeah,
know what Joe Burrow could do to your team if healthy, at full force with all the guns blazing. Now, this year he has been riddled with injuries. Eli mentioned the whole calf injury at the beginning of the season. We don't really know if that's even injured, but I guess he just coped with it, right?
yeah,
And obviously now we have this situation. I just think it's fear. I think a lot of you guys think Joe Burrow is that
yeah.
guy, but I did find this stat, right? Crazy stat, because this guy ended up retiring pretty early, and one of his reasons why is because of injuries. Andrew Luck,
Yeah.
in 4 seasons, which was 55 games.
Damn.
So let me just put this in perspective, right? Like I said, he retired due to major injuries. He was just, I think every year it was just bang left and right.
Yeah.
And at that time, the coach just couldn't, I don't know what you guys were doing in the front office, excuse me, but you guys was just not finding ways to protect this gentleman. He was sacked 115 times.
Damn.
Joe Burrow, in 4 seasons, 52 games, 3 games less than Andrew Luck, has been sacked 148 times.
Golly. I knew that line
Literally
was bad, but sheesh.
a little bit over 30 more sacks in 3 less games. So I'm not bringing up any questions of targeting. I don't want to do that here. Cincy, if you want to have a prosperous career or give Joe Burrow a prosperous career and allow him to take you to the promised land as he has been in the last 4 seasons, you're probably going to have to protect him just a little bit better because that's insane.
I just don't understand when they had to go ahead and face Kansas City, and like that first half, he got sacked 6 times. That left side could not couldn't stop Kansas City. They had to double on the left side
Yeah.
to get something moving in the second half. Like, that offensive line has been bad ever since he got there. But I don't even want to talk about making moves on their offensive line. How about just not putting him out there on the field? They supposedly they knew about his calf injury,
Okay.
and he was practicing anyways, and they allowed him practice, and he got hurt in practice. It wasn't that he was practicing and he got hurt.
Yeah.
No, they knew about the calf injury, and he went out there anyways, and then got hurt. So I'm mad about that because protect him.
Right.
And two, he gets hurt in practice, and then you rush him back on the field for week one. And he can't even move. And your offensive line is garbage. And you still put him out there with one leg in the NFL. In the NFL, he's on one leg with that bad of an offensive line. Doesn't look good until like week 4. Then they
Yeah.
go on a little stretch,
Yeah. Yeah.
and they run into Stroud. They lose. And prior to that, this past week, he had a hand injury, and they knew about it. Didn't put it on the injury report. Didn't put it on, allowed him to play out there with a bad hand. He throws the ball. Pop. He's done. How do you put him out there yet again with another injury? Don't put it on the report and he gets hurt due to having a hand injury. Make that make sense.
It's not cool.
What is Cincy doing?
It's not cool at
You're
all.
basically running him out. I feel very, very sad for Joe Burrow because he has shown he's a great quarterback and the Bengals organization just sees otherwise.
I'm on the same boat. I mean, I'm Joe Burrow is my favorite quarterback right now in the league. So, it's really sad for me to see what's going on, and I understand that they're running an investigation on the Cincinnati Bengals in result of this because, like Eli mentioned, they knew of the injuries and they still decided to throw him out there. Now, I know some of you ill-minded fucks are gonna be like, "Oh well, it's Joe Burrow. He probably has the final say. If he's injured, he shouldn't be." Right? Listen, if you ever played sports, you'd never want to sit out. So let me start by that. If you never played sports, I don't want to hear you. Shut up. Shut up. You don't. You just don't know. You're just
Yeah.
once again, you are a couch potato. You are a couch anchor, a couch analyst, and you just want to say something just to be controversial. As a player, regardless of how injured you are going to want to play the game. Especially if you're a top player like Joe Burrow and probably thinks, this is just an assumption, that probably thinks that he is the best chance for his
Yeah.
team to win. So he's gonna push his body to the limit for him to get on that field and perform as best as he can.
Yeah. You got a pure example, Aaron Rodgers trying
Yeah.
to get back
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
off
Yeah.
of Achilles. Like when you just have that hunger for the game, you want to go out there and help your team win. That's just being a competitive person.
1000%.
And I understand he wants to be out there, but medically,
You
this
can't.
is your man.
You
You
can't.
have to take care of him. Even if he thinks he can still go out there, you should know that he's not ready. That's what I don't understand.
And you're absolutely right. So it takes the organization to step in and be like, dog, especially Joe Burrow, who is the second highest paid quarterback right now. We invested a lot of dollars in you. We're gonna need you to be healthy
I don't.
within this contract.
Yes.
Do us a favor. We're already 6-4. We're already 6-4, 6-3. I forgot their record. Just take a seat. Even with you at 100%, we probably don't have a huge chance to win the Super Bowl because you guys are gonna have to clash into the Chiefs and not Detroit. Uh,
Baltimore
yeah, yeah,
again.
yeah.
The
The
Browns.
Browns, good defense. You're gonna have to clash into those teams, and if your top dog is not healthy, yeah. So sit them down. Number one. So that's the organization's issue. Then what I have an issue with that, like Cincinnati, right? And I'm glad that they're having an investigation. I'm not saying throw these guys in there too, right? Aaron Rodgers is having this marketing campaign about, oh, I'm returning, oh, I'm returning, I'm returning. I haven't heard one word from the Jets.
Yeah.
Like, oh, he's healing at a remarkable pace, or yeah, we'll see, we'll take it week by week. If I was the Jets front office, I'd probably also be like, yo, Tug, I get that you want to get back, but we signed you for 2-3 years. We'll just do this next year, bro.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We have everybody next year. We'll regroup. We have another offseason that we can just perfect everything. Because even with Aaron Rodgers, your offensive line is horrible,
Yeah.
right? So you might run into the same issue that Cincy's having with the Bengals and having Aaron Rodgers just getting hurt because you guys can't protect them.
Yeah.
And um I know it was Hard Knocks, and I know it was like videos on the internet and stuff. But listen, to the viewers outside of the organization, offensively, you guys weren't really clicking. Obviously, we didn't get to see it in the regular season because 4 plays in,
Yeah.
tragedy happens. But
I mean, I may be optimistic, but hey, Zach Wilson, he's shown some moments where they look pretty good.
yeah,
I'm not saying they have a winning record right now, but I think in the position that they're in and their defense has put them in, they probably would have been in a good spot. We
yeah,
don't know; it's all it's assumption, but they've been
I
in a
mean,
lot of close games where they've
that
either
Aaron might have.
squeaked out or yeah, might have won. So
You're right. The only thing is, week 16 is what they said. You have what, 2 weeks left.
yeah, no,
So you need. Let's say you guys lose out until week 16. Those 2 games are not gonna do anything, regardless of the Bills' woes right now. Miami's not slowing down, so you're not going to win the division. Number one, right? Number two, let's say you guys do win a few games, you are in contention. Aaron Rodgers come back. You think he's just, again, just like I said, you guys had issues offensively. You think he's just going to come back and just
yep,
have miraculous chemistry with your offensive line, with your receivers, with the.
yep,
I don't care if he's been working off camera. What I really don't. Once the clock starts hitting 11:59 and counting down, first quarter at 1 p.m., it's a different story.
yeah. That speed, as the NFL speed, is way different.
And
It's
then
gonna have to move a lot quicker.
you guys make the playoffs. Now you got to ask Now you got to ask this question to yourself. Okay, Aaron Rodgers came back. He's as healthy as he can be. We scratched into the playoffs. Are you really gonna win a game? You're gonna have to face the Chiefs, the Miami, the Bills, depending on if they make it in there. The Baltimore's, the
The story sounds great. It sounds great, but I don't want to see him out there. After seeing what Joe Burrow's going through, I want to see Aaron Rodgers 100% in that Jets uniform.
yeah.
I want to see it happen next year. I know I made the comment of like, oh, I would love to see him. It'll be great, but looking at these injuries and what they really do, hey, take the next couple more months and
Yeah.
we'll see you in September.
Well, you mentioned there earlier. You rather see competition where everybody's at full force, everybody's
Yeah,
healthy. That's
exactly.
just the best version of sports.